there folks, rinimt here and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. In the last part, we watched the final days and we got to Garlemald and the final days were happening. This is fine. Everything is fine. We determined this. This is fine. Outside help.
No major injuries then. Good. I briefed the recovered soldiers and sent them on their way as quickly as I could, but nevertheless feared they would not make it in time.
The additional support was invaluable. Your men saved more than a few lives. Though not all, I regret to say.
I take it that I'm addressing Lucia Junius. I'm the Forum's envoy, Fortuneau Leveilleur. And you are owed an explanation for these most dire developments.
Another trial wrought by the final days. I was beginning to suspect as much. You doubtless feel some consternation having been forced to abandon your original plan. But trust me when I say you were right to send the refugees elsewhere. Beasts have been sighted within the capital. Perhaps it was a stroke of grim fortune that the population was decimated beforehand, as they've yet to appear in any great number, but in time. In any case, Maxima leads the remainder of the contingent in an effort to cull the creatures and evacuate the populace as we speak. Once the airships have taken to the skies, I pray your men can be persuaded to join him.
You'll permit us to retain our weapons?
I wouldn't have sent you after the Scions were I expecting you to stab them in the back.
And I, for one, would not consider past transgressions more relevant than future contributions. Regardless of the circumstances that saw us at odds before, we need men of courage now, more than ever.
We swore to defend Garlemald, and so we shall.
It seems you have everything under control. You will excuse me then, for mine own duties await.
A moment, Master Fortuneau. You did desire to express your appreciation for services rendered, did you not?
I did. Though if you intend to again ask that Charlian alter its course, you will find my gratitude insufficient.
'Tis nothing so onerous. I wish to hear the details of this grand endeavor of yours.
Do you swear to listen and to learn, and not to embark upon some scheme to impede us?
I swear.
Any other, I would doubt. But you, I trust to keep your for not once have you broken it. Very well. I will request that the Forum make you privy to our plans. You may await our summons at the Baldessian Annex, assuming the decision is in your favor. Does that suffice?
It does. You have my thanks.
Excellent. You can regale us with tales of your most recent sojourn to the First while we wait. Did you hear something just now?
Dawn may banish even the darkest night, and to this bitter clime bring warmth and comfort. 'Tis heartening to see such an assembly upon my return. I thought often of you whilst I looked down upon our star's brilliance from the moon above.
Yes, but what are you doing here? And dressed like that? Aren't you cold?
Verily, I fear for my health should I proceed to expound upon our purpose ere I procure more suitable garments.
Then allow me to summarize. We're here because none of you lot are up there. Nor has anyone deigned to send word about any changes in the plans. It's rude, is what it is. At least that's what I thought at first, but then folks got to wondering if you weren't in a spot of bother, so we decided to take matters into our own hands. Come down here and help, if our help be needed. So she says, but it's also something of a convenient excuse to visit Etheris. Oriange made it sound absolutely marvelous. More so before the impending doom, but still. And it's not like there will ever be a better time. What with the aforementioned doom?
Marvelous, they say, yet not an ounce of pudding to be found. I must suffer Uriange's inferior works no more.
Hey! Maybe consider the plight of present company before you go blathering on about pudding and doom? Ahem. As I was saying, should you require any assistance with whatever, we are at your disposal. We were born from Heidelin's love for the lives of this star, so naturally we would much prefer to see them continue. Twiddling our thumbs up on the moon is hardly conducive to that, though, is it? Not when you've all got such precious thoughts and feelings and hopes for the future deserving of more active preservation. Speaking to Uriange made us realize that while we've carried out our duties to the letter, we've failed to fulfill them in spirit. From there, it was just a hop, skip, and a jump towards resolving to do better. So please, show us how. Help us help you.
Forgive me, but are they
Thy distant collaborators, indeed.
Hail, fellow! Well met! You'd be a member of the Forum, would you? It's an honor and a pleasure to meet you at last. I'm Livingway, Hydaelyn's right paw! That last bit is very important. As am I, if I may humbly say so myself.
I, bid you welcome to our star, Livingway. On behalf of the Forum, I thank you for traveling such a distance to meet us. As you have surmised, preparations for the Exodus have not proceeded as smoothly as we had hoped. I should be happy to personally escort you to our headquarters in Sharlayan, where you may advise us as you deem fit.
'Twas with reluctance that I set aside the great work of readying the moon for habitation. Be assured that I did so only after the Loperids made plain their earnest desire to come hither, and I myself felt a growing certainty that their contributions here would prove invaluable. 'Tis trite, perhaps, but I followed my heart.
May thy disciples banish this darkest of nights.
I am no esteemed philosopher of Eld. Nevertheless, 'tis my hope that what little knowledge I shared shall serve them well, and perchance help save us all. Will thou attend us at the Forum and lend thine own wisdom?
If that's all quite settled, can we start moving before Urianger catches his death? Even I'm freezing out here.
Oh, I dare say you'll warm up quickly once you're aboard the airship. Sat shoulder to shoulder with our fur-covered friends.
Free warp! I dare say Master Fortunal was as nonplussed as we to learn the identity of Hydaelyn's lunar custodians. He will soon discover they have much and more to offer the Forum. I suggest we return to the Annex forthwith. We may yet have time to discuss thy recent adventures ere we are summoned to the Rostra. Yeah, I haven't even, talked to you guys about what happened when I went to the first. In the past. Have I told you I went to the past? I don't think I told you I went to the past yet. Not that I'm complaining, Urianger, but I wasn't expecting to see you quite so soon. Nor I thee. In extolling the virtues of Aetheris, I did inadvertently awaken in the Loperids a desire to avert our beloved star's demise. Crow tells us you have obtained new knowledge that may aid us in our ongoing efforts. I have news to share regarding our study of the Ethereal Sea, but your findings are certain to be of greater interest, and so I would rather hear them first. To what revelations did Hydaelyn's Elpis flower lead? No. Then this dynamis is what drives the final days. If it and Akasha are one and the same, this all but proves Nidana's theory. Were an entity, through sheer force of emotion, to channel this vast, dormant reservoir into a raging river, its power might surpass even that of ether. But if our star is so replete with ether, said entity would need to be an outside its influence to effectively manipulate the dynamics of the great expanse. Medion. Or rather, the sorrow and suffering of fallen civilizations that she has been hoarding for millennia. Untold anguish and fear and hatred drawn from every corner of the universe, all for a single purpose, the destruction of Aetheris. Then our foe is no longer some unknowable calamity. We have but one aim, to defeat Medion. You make it sound so simple, but you're not wrong. Vanquish Medion, and we deliver the world from the final days. To even attempt it, there are two conditions. First, we must determine her location. Before Medion escaped, an enchantment was placed upon her by Vana, the woman who would become Hydaelyn. The implications of temporal magics are not entirely understood, and so we cannot assume that our Hydaelyn and the Vana you met in Elpis are one and the same. Nevertheless, due to her intrinsic qualities as an all-powerful being, I wager that Hydaelyn possesses the knowledge we seek. Whether she would share that knowledge with us, however, remains to be seen. After all, she intends for us to flee Aetheris, not to stay. Do you suppose she has abandoned her pursuit of Medion? The Vana I know would never give up. That's my impression too. Otherwise, she wouldn't have used me as a conduit for her will or provide clues such as the Elpis flower. I believe she has been waiting for mankind's answer to Hermes' question. So, what's the second condition? We must find a means to reach Medion. Naturally, our chosen method will depend entirely upon wheresoever she has made her nest. Then communing with Hydaelyn must by necessity come first. Did you and Master Matoya have any luck with your investigation into the Ethereal Sea? Sadly not. Though we enlisted the help of Arenvald and the other Echo Blessed allies, we couldn't detect so much as a whisper from Hydaelyn, even from within the Anti-Tower. Master Matoya is of the opinion that the years since abandoning it, the Forum has found some other method of receiving instructions from Hydaelyn. If so, it would most likely be some form of apparatus for observing the Ethereal Sea, built closer to home. Sorry to interrupt, but we've just received word from the Forum. Your presence is required in the Rostra, where they intend to discuss the Great Exodus. And Father was able to persuade them. They're finally taking us seriously. Let's hear what they have to say. Alright, on to the Rostra now. Whee! The farm is in session, and as such, the Rostra is closed to visitors. A sound of the 7th dawn? Very well, you may wait in the corridor. Of course, entry will only be permitted on condition you leave your armaments at the door. Lest you forget, this sacred institution holds rational discourse in the highest. The implements of war are expressly forbidden. Alright. More importantly, switch my enhanced glamour. Can I just, like, go through the middle? Hey guys! I don't see anyone here, so we're good, right? I'll just bring out my weapon, like, chill, what's up?
There is a matter I wish to raise with you before we enter. We are here to listen and to learn. But if the Forum's plans are more or less what I expect, then I should like to make a proposal that will serve our ends. By your leave, of course.
I don't see why not. Your words and wits have gotten us this far. Agreed. I will present our queries so that you may consider the most advantageous way to advance your proposal without distraction.
Thank you, everyone.
If I may have your attention, the ad hoc session will now commence. The purpose of today's assembly is to brief the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, at their request, on the Great Exodus. You may enter. On behalf of the Forum, I commend your heroic actions on the Magna Glaciers. We shall not soon forget your service to us and the people of Radzat-Han. The Satrap, whom we have informed of the refugees' new arrangements, sings your praises as well. As an expression of our gratitude, we will endeavor to answer your questions as fully and openly as we are able.
Then let us begin. First, it is the Forum's objective to ferry the life and knowledge of this star to the moon. Am I correct?
You are. It is for this purpose that Sharlayan has labored these many long years. We have collected biological samples and scientific records from across the star. When the time comes, they will be moved from their places in Labyrinthos and Numenon and conveyed to safety. Once that critical task has been accomplished, we will begin transporting the Sharlayan citizenry, which has been categorized into groups. The earliest arrivals are to ensure hospitable environs for those who come after. Following our people, we will send those of other nations in turn, beginning with our allies. Radzat-Han was foremost among these, but since the final days have already come to Thavnair, we saw fit to include the refugees with earlier groupings.
An ambitious plan. You have accounted for the safety of all nations and tribes, then?
As many as we can.
And how, pray tell, do you decide who to leave behind?
To journey beyond the sky is an unprecedented and immeasurably difficult endeavor. Introducing sources of inevitable conflict would condemn all to certain death.
Questions as to the validity of that approach aside, are your plans proceeding apace? We're under the impression that your primary means of celestial transportation is incomplete.
If only in that it does not meet our optimal parameters, that is correct. This Ark, as some have taken to calling it, is fully operational and could be launched even today. However, the final days have progressed more quickly than we anticipated. At present, the ship is incapable of attaining speeds sufficient to meet our evacuation targets. Should we put the vessel into service, as it is now, we will be unable to travel to the moon and back quickly enough to complete the necessary number of trips. Precious lives and knowledge will be lost.
Seven hells. Is there anything to be done?
The ether burner, the primary means of propulsion once the craft is in the space between stars, is undergoing testing to determine whether it can be made more efficient. Though cargo is being loaded for the initial phase of the Exodus, we are prepared to continue our experimentation up to the day before launch, should it prove necessary.
What if the Scions were to solve your problem? We shall help devise a means to improve the ether burner's efficiency, on 2 conditions. If we succeed, you must allow us to meet with Hydaelyn.
"'Twas simple enough to deduce. You have a Concord, and so you would never have abandoned the anti-tower had you no other means of communication. One far more convenient, I suspect.
The second condition, also to be met upon our success, is that we be permitted to propose another use for your Ark.
We would be at liberty to refuse this proposal.
Of course. If we cannot prove its merit to the 99 here, who are we to stake on it the lives of all peoples of this star?
Delightful as always, Master Alfino. Oh, we couldn't have asked for a finer plan. Allow us to solve this complex engineering problem of which we were entirely unaware until moments ago. What could possibly go wrong? The satire writes itself. Yet, what field has not benefited from a change in perspective? When we are at wit's end, what we need is not the same dry theories recited ad nauseam, but fresh inspiration. I, for one, have faith in my erstwhile students to provide it, and I find their terms to be perfectly acceptable.
Order! Order! We have no time to waste on debate. I call a vote. All in favor of agreeing to the Scion's terms? "71 in favor, 28 against. The ayes have it. Fortuneau, as the architect of this project, you are the best candidate to show them its current state. And bear in mind that regardless of your personal misgivings, this is the will of the Forum.
Very well.
I call this session to a close. Return to your tasks with urgency. The final days wait for none.
well then. Sorry about not letting the rest of you in on my plan. I was admittedly thinking on my feet for the most part. Since we require both the means of communing with Hydaelyn and reaching Medion. In the spur of the moment, I saw involving ourselves with the completion of the arc as a way to work towards both objectives simultaneously. However, we must first keep our end of the bargain by solving the problem of the ether burner. I'd like to think it is not a challenge beyond our combined expertise, or at least the expertise of an extended circle of associates. It might behoove us to learn how an ether burner actually works before we attempt to improve it, though. Going underground. As instructed, I shall take you to see the ether burner. Meet me outside the Archeon. I trust you can make your own way there. So the Ark is being built in Labyrinthos. Hardly surprising. Where else could they conceal such a massive undertaking? Alright, you remember how I said before we didn't have Labyrinthos flying yet? We're heading back. Our destination lies in the lower levels. The Forum, in its wisdom, has granted you access to the Archeon's lift. Step inside, and I'll have Ophaline take you to the medial circuit. Oh, I guess I could not walk. I don't have to walk. Should I use the lift? Yes. Of course, we could technically have taken a long way. Who wants to do that? I've sent your associates ahead to Logisticon Alpha on the other side of Mariel Agronomics. Actually, there is something I've been meaning to... No, never mind. You can wait. Let's attend to the matter at hand. Alright. No. No! There's a quest. I joked about taking the back road, but it almost would have actually been faster. Take on a hunt here real quick. Like, this is a multi though. It was okay, cool, it was one. Alright, I guess before we go speak with Alphino, we'll do this quest. Because flying. Lost little troll. Oh, teary me. My sweetest Shackles, one of the Archeon's precious samples, has fled. You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you? My apologies. I'm Mohitia, an archivist. The Archeon is home to various samples collected from all across the star, and one such specimen has just escaped. A young troll, to be specific. Oh, I hope he hasn't been set upon by the local predators. Listen, I promise to compensate you, so could you please help me retrieve the specimen? My thanks. I will continue my search of this area. I'd like you to check the 33rd facet. Once you've had a comprehensive look about, please meet me at the Archeon to report your findings. Alright, so in there. Oh hey, our destination is right here next to that hunt enemy I decided to kill. You see Ultros, great or small, perhaps a bit further in. I'd say it'd be so funny if the S rank spawned right now, but it can't even spawn right now. It's too close after our maintenance, so. The S rank of this area is Referral the Canny. It spawns via the minion from the next dungeon, actually. So, yeah. Oh, come on, really? Doesn't matter. Did I kill that one, I guess? I'll kill one right here anyway. Yeah, fun to get that minion from the next dungeon. And curing sunny weather in the daytime. And you have to go over the spawn point with that minion. No trolls nor we've seen. Well, Hitia may have had better luck. Just warp back out there. So yeah, I think it's daytime, sunny weather, which is honestly, it is pretty common that you can't go a couple hours without this spawn condition. So yeah, sunny weather, daytime, with a specific minion on the spawn point is how you spawn this S rank. I see, I was unable to find a specimen either. However, I did meet someone who claimed to have seen it in Mornvale Forest. Let's head there and see if we can track it down. Just giving up. I'm just staying on Dancer at this point. Yes, there can be no doubt. These are Shago's footprints. I'm uncover the specimen's trail. It should be close. If you find any threat from local fauna, you may dispatch its assailants. Actually, there's actually a hunt spawn point literally right on this little slope, so I don't know all the ones here, but I have a general idea. That's the last one, thank you. That was not the right order, but it's fine. This is fine. Everything is fine. It is our theme right now. Hi, Shagles! I'm here to save you. Oh, I'm so glad you're unharmed. You're all safe now. Come on, let's go home, sweetie. Archeon is under threat. I must do something. You can talk? You can understand me? Wait, are you able to communicate with him? Yeah? Incredible! I've never met someone with such a skill before. Bundle of Joy was born in Labyrinthos. However, he was abandoned by his mother and in quite the state by the time we found him. He possesses remarkable intelligence for one of his kind. We've elected to use him as part of a study into the effects of growing up in an artificial environment. I had seen him making gestures to indicate he'd been reading the tomes here, but I thought he was just copying those around him. To think he actually understands speech. Though I do wonder exactly why you're able to understand him and I am not. I'm sort of special. Really? Oh, what I wouldn't give to understand him too. You possess the echo, do you not? I find it difficult to gird the way yours kind do, but I suppose it makes sense that you understand my general sentiments. I happen to learn a set of power from the tomes in the Archeon. Honestly, that buffoon over there is surrounded by a sea of knowledge, and he makes no effort to engage with it. Grr. Anyway, I'm glad to finally have someone to talk to. As I was saying earlier, Archeon is in grave danger. Some girls Gleaner managed to bring woodworms in with them during a visit. We leave them be, they're bound to cause irreparable damage to materials at the facility. I tried my best to tell that buffoon, but it was no use. That's why I took a chance and went in search of some of my own kind to see if they would help, but you saw how that turned out. Well, what is he saying? You're a buffoon. Oh, dearie me. Still, it's most courageous of him to try and solve the issue on his own. Now that we're aware of it, we need to sort out this pest problem at once. Would you mind helping out a little longer? Yes. You're the only one who can understand him after all. And he seems mom's ahead of us with regard to the situation at hand. Hooray! We got a current! What? Sorry, Shiggles. Right, I think it's... Oh, it feels like I should have more. I feel like I determined... Girl... Anyway, we're gonna have a lot more quests to come because we had none the previous time here. By a lot more, I mean like 3 more. Point is... Let's get back down there. Oh, I am going in here. I'm like, where am I going? Right in here. Right over here. This is... Everything's fine. We are to wait here while our father arranges for us to use the next lift. Here being Logisticon Alpha, where the atmospheric conditions of Labyrinthos are regulated. Water is drawn from underground and dispersed as vapor, stimulating the formation of artificial clouds and rain. By manipulating the temperature and air circulation, they're able to create the ideal environment for the growth and preservation of the biological samples kept here. Hold on, how do you know so much about it? My father brought me here as a child. What? And left me behind? Actually, you're the one who left me behind when you went off somewhere with grandfather. The night before, I've been asking father how clouds are made, so he decided to show me. It's fascinating. I peppered him with questions the entire time. It's all too easy to take for granted the many interweaving aspects of the natural world, to grow inured to the wondrous. But having gained an understanding of the complex mechanism employed by the Alloperates and recreating a similar environment, I've come to view such processes in a new light. The subterranean gardens of Labyrinthos, and their present forge to contain the ancient Zodiac, the habitations built for all mankind beneath the moon's surface, each unique yet undeniably similar. 'Tis no mere coincidence. Ever since Hydaelyn unfolded to us the grim fate that awaits the theorists, every essential resource we could spare has been delivered to Labyrinthos in preparation for the great exodus. But that is not all. It's also a testing ground for the technologies that will allow us to settle on distant stars. Though the Alloperates have endeavored to make the moon inhabitable, that is not our final destination. Mankind must learn to propagate life where there is none, and to thrive where all is barren. Alas, time is not on our side. I've arranged for you all to enter the central circuit. It is there that most of our preparations for the Great Exodus are carried out, the construction of the Ark among them. Though our plans have been made public, access remains highly restricted. You, however, will not be subject to said restrictions, and will have free reign to come and go as you please. Such was the will of the Forum, after all. We will prove ourselves worthy of their trust. Your trust. Then let us proceed. create the forum, the sounds of the 7th dawn are permitted to enter the central circuit. Thank you. The ether runner is being constructed not far from here. Overseeing the work is Coco Denko, after whom the forge is named. And once the necessary introduction's been made, I shall leave you with him to discuss the particulars. This way. Alright. This 181 northwest. I feel like that's a trap to go that way. We'll go this way. I guess it wasn't a trap. There was stairs. Point is, wasn't doing it. So there is a another hunt spawn point over here, I believe. I think it's over there. Just no, okay. Oh, it's on here, isn't it? I think it's on here. On in round? Yeah, there it is. .448 north. Okay, that's fine. Wait. I'm going the completely wrong way. Good job, Rinny. You're going the wrong way. Probably. Since we're up here, we're going to attune to this aetherite because we're up here and I can. Because we're up here. This. Full net. Blah, 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 blah. I got distracted by ether currents, okay? What did I say? That way, when they do actually send me up here, I can just be like, boing! Warp. So anyway, where is this current? 160 southwest. I guess it's further along. That's fine. That's fine.
Could swap them out. No, been there, done that. Damn near lost me eyebrows. Think, Coco, think! We'd be well on our way to paradise. Visionaries patting themselves on the backs for their grand accomplishments if you'd only think!
Yes, that does sound rather lovely.
Yeah! I mean, Master Force, you know, what a pleasant surprise. We're not blasting off already, are we?
The schedule remains unchanged, for better or worse. Which is why the Forum has elected to accept assistance in resolving the ether burner conundrum.
Huh. Not seen you lot down here before.
There are Archons among their number, but engineering is not their expertise. Nevertheless, the Forum concedes the slim possibility that they may have insights to offer. If not, you are at liberty to return them to the surface, by whatever means you see fit.
I assure you that won't be necessary. Now, about your troubles with the ether burner.
Aye, aye, I'll walk you through it. Suppose I could do with a change of pace. As the name ought to tell you, the ether burner burns ether, ambient or otherwise, and transforms it into motive force. Think of it like a giant bomb that never stops exploding. Even out in that black void where the ether's right sparse, it's strong enough to move our arc. And it probably won't kill you like an actual bomb. But it ain't perfect. A According to my calculations, to travel to the moon and back fast enough for the forum's liking, the conversion rate needs to be 6% more efficient. A measly 6%, you say? But if I could have squeezed even another 0.6 out of it, don't you think I'd have built it that way in the first place?
Hast thou consulted with the Loperids?
Yes, they too are conducting their own research, for lack of a ready answer. The moon's propulsion systems are considerable, naturally, yet they are commensurately massive. It is no easy feat to convert their technology into an efficient means of propulsion for a teeny tiny toy boat, as they say, and as I most certainly do not.
Yes, exactly! Damn it all, I asked for refined adamantite and they send me uppity rabbits with inscrutable, ancient, incompatible technology! You're trying to drive me mad!
Do you speak of Allegan refined adamantite, perchance?
You know of it?
Only in the most general terms, I'm afraid. 'Twas an alloy of Allegan make, but the secrets of its production were closely guarded. As I recall, the record stated it was vital to Dalamud's construction and launch.
Aye, that's the stuff. No material more conductive far as I know. Slotting some in's like blowing up a dam and watching the river of ether come rushing through. Ain't a living soul that knows how to make it, though. We were fortunate enough to salvage some for the ether burner, just a wee bit, mind, from a chunk of Dalamud that came hurtling into the northern empty during the calamity. With more, well, that extra 6% efficiency would be child's play. It's a crying shame that we've no other sources.
Surely the many shards of Dalamud scattered throughout Eorzea would suffice. Why not get the refined adamantite from them?
Oh, we tried, believe you me. But only a few specialised pieces would have had any in them to begin with. Drive calls from Ragnarok-class internment hulks. Those are the prize bits we really need. According to the Gleaners, getting to them means delving deep into the shards. And the defences are still very operational and very eager to blow them up. It's rough going in there, even for the cream. Not sure they'd make it out alive.
Weren't we near that part of the Ragnarok when we went to destroy Bahamut?
The White Wyvern's ghost. It haunts me. That duo sucks.
Heavens, are you all right? You look pale as a... Well... Best put that battle from your mind for now. Deep breaths. That's it.
There are multiple internment hulks in Eorzea alone, so handling this ourselves may not be the most efficient option. Rather, if we could salvage adamantite from the shards simultaneously... Thancred, is the link shell we established before you went to Garlemald still active?
Of course. The floor is yours.
What's all this?
Gathering firewood, so to speak. We alone can accomplish little, but joined by others, we may yet build a bonfire to carry us heavensward. This is Alphino. The Scions have need of you.
Understood. I will contact the Lord Commander and dispatch our finest at once.
My sisters are somewhat preoccupied with the final days, so I will lead the 12-Sword expedition myself.
Are you aware of any other sources of refined adamantite?
Logically, such an invaluable alloy would have been utilized solely where absolutely necessary, in components intended to conduct or collect surpassing amounts of ether. Any extant instrumentation or devices would have likely found their way into the hands of etherologists, or enthusiasts.
Magical artifacts of Allagan design? The Eastern Alliance will send word to one and all. Are there other ways we may offer aid? No shards of the Lesser Moon scar our soil, but our stake in this cause is no less for it.
Is there anything in Othard that might be of use to you?
What did you say? Oh, you got friends in far places, lad. Any road, if you're offering, I wouldn't say no to one of those Far Eastern sacred relics. Some of them can hold enough ether to summon a whole damn primal. Mine is sourced like that with the ether burner. And 3, 2, 1, kaboom!
I gather you heard his explosive enthusiasm. Might you secure us a suitable relic?
It shall be done. I know little of machines, but I promise we will do our utmost to gather the materials you need to finish your starship. I am glad for the work, in truth. Better to busy oneself than wait and fret over disasters foretold.
Then why are we all still standing about yapping? There's plunder for the taking, and I'm a born plunderer. I'll be an old Charlian before you know it. Start mixing the grog.
I'm certain that can be arranged. Thank you all, and do be careful.
Just like that.
Aye, just like that. Our refined adamantite is on its way. Now let us consider our next steps, shall we? There's yet much to be done.
It's times like these we're reminded of how famous or infamous Athena has become. Who'd have thought you could achieve so much with a single Link Pro conversation? As we're expecting rather a lot of visitors in the near future, I'd best return to the surface and inform the relevant parties. I also have a contact of my own that might be worth a try. Oh, and who might that be? That's for me to know and you to find out. On that note, I leave matters here in your capable hands. Best of luck. Meanwhile, in Ultros,
our course of action is clear. We must harvest refined adamantite from the shards of Garlemald and procure arcane relics of Allagan make. Summon the best and brightest of our immortal flames, and form an expeditionary party at once. Call upon the Salt and Sworn and Brass Blades for support as you must. Papashan,
Send word to the guilds. We will require the expertise of master artisans if we are to have any hope of identifying and recovering these elusive materials. Viergeist, we have need of your stone torches. They are to assist the immortal flames in scouring the ruins and to help secure the surrounding areas. I trust I can count on your support.
As commander of the stone torches, my son Zimberk will personally see it done.
Pippin, I would have you lead the raiding party. Assemble your finest, and with Tizona's blade, clear the way. Lord Lolorito, I pray you take charge of the search for Allagan relics. Surely you know of some being traded on open or clandestine markets, or sleeping in collectors' vaults. Of course, I ask not that you do this out of the kindness of your heart. By all means, profit on the transactions. I wish you the joy of it. The final days descend upon our world. If circumstances are truly as dire as they say, Uldar's best efforts may be for naught. And yet, when we Eorzeans rose from the ashes to rebuild our broken realm, did we not learn one simple truth? That which seems all but impossible to overcome alone may yet be possible if we stand together. It was the Scions who united us then, and it is the Scions who call upon us now. Uldar will answer that call. We will summon our courage and join the fight for our world's future. You know your duties. I, Nanamo Ulnamo, 17th in the line of Ul, bid you good luck and Godspeed.
Meanwhile, in the Black Shroud...
We've fielded a goodly number, but our ranks are heavy with healers, and an abundance of restorative magics will be of little help in destroying Dalamad's defenses. Still, it has ever been thus with Gridania. We must steel ourselves for a protracted engagement.
In that case, might I suggest taking us along?
Commander Hext, what are you doing here?
None of the shards in Girabania are big enough to hold an internment hulk. So we said to ourselves, why not lend our neighbors a hand? We thought you might be short on people with a talent for breaking things.
While it pains me to admit it, you are right. Our deficiencies so plain to see.
It might have been a lifetime ago, but I was once one of the Scions assigned to the Shroud. I know this forest well. I know your people. And I know we will be stronger if we fight this fight together.
Then I will impose upon you with a clear conscience. Come, let us speak of how to integrate our forces.
I won't let it all be for nothing. I promise you, Papalimo.
Meanwhile, in Kurthus,
There you are! We've no time to waste, brother. Everyone has already... Ah. That was a roar! A dragon's roar!
meanwhile in the Ruby Sea,
And so, in summation, the Eastern Alliance, as well as the Honorable Lord Lolorito himself, reached out to me for assistance in procuring these treasures of the divine, and I, in turn, do beseech the Confederacy for aid. Hmm? Is that...
Hancock? What a surprise this is. And a fortuitous one at that. I have a favor to ask, you see.
what's going on? Oh, people are trying to snipe an A rank. Cool! From the hunt train. So anyway, on that lovely note, I think I'm gonna call it there. This also went on longer than I thought, because I didn't expect there to be another 10 minutes of cutscenes after it was like, we're done. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider liking, commenting, and/or subscribing. If you really enjoyed it, consider supporting the channel. All support greatly helps to keep getting content like this and more. You can find links for that in the description, such as links to my Amazon storefront or me on Patreon. You can also find links to me on social media there. So again, thank you for watching, and until next time, this is rinimt signing out. Bye!